All right, everybody, let's jump right in. I hadn't planned to start with Republican Rand Paul in Kentucky, but because Will brought it up, we'll go there. Why are you depressed about Mr. Paul?
Well, Rand Paul gave a very thoughtful answer to the question of what is the appropriate role of government in our private lives. And that's what this is about. It's not about race. And a good chunk of the response from a good chunk of the left has been to simply yell bigot, which reveals that they're either mental midgets, incapable of understanding this issue, or they're trafficking in lies. But here's the depressing part, Harris.
That leaves very little options.
Here's the depressing part, Harris. The response from the right. Jon Kyl, John Cornyn, Lindsey Graham, Eric Cantor have distanced themselves from Rand Paul. They've said he's too honest, too principled. He shouldn't have indulged.
Is that code for something else?
Yes, it's code for this. That he shouldn't have indulged in this debate, and the lesson they want to teach him is be more of a politician.
What are they trying to tell him, Joe?
You know, from a political PR point of view, it seems he only opens his mouth to change feet. It's like the guy's he's making these statements and not thinking about them. That's not being political. And you know,
can you do that if you're in politics, I guess, is the big question.
That's going to be a test for us, not for politicians. Can we reward somebody who isn't being a politician?
But that's what the Tea Party said that they were going to do, and they love this guy.
He's, you know, all of a sudden turning around and saying, I'm not going to do Meet the Press. That's not coming out and being clear and thoughtful.
Do you think maybe
and
it wasn't
speaking.
his decision? Do you think? See, that was my first thought. When I read about it Saturday night, I looked at my husband and I said, he just canceled on something that happens in a few hours. I tend to think that's a group decision. I tend to think that there were maybe some well-placed phone calls that said, you know what?
You know what set it off?
You're hotter than hot right now. Why don't we cool you off a little bit? Now, that's just my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But that's because I work in media, and I know that if you want to cool somebody off, you take them out.
Well, is it that, or is it God knows what he's going to say?
No, I don't. This is the thing. I hate this response. Look, he gave a very thoughtful answer to what the role of the federal government is.
Should he have canceled?
And let me talk about Meet the Press. But first, let me say this, Harris. This is the right question to be asking. When the government takes over the auto industry, the energy industry, the healthcare industry, it might be the right question to ask, what is the appropriate role of the federal government? And you know what happened?
You help them, you know, attract dollars. You also counsel them in a lot of different ways.
I would have told him not to cancel Meet. I think that was you come back and you know let me clarify this. You don't run away. Well, you know, it's an unfortunate.
What about that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I give Rand Paul a lot of credit for going on Rachel Maddow's show. And it was actually, I think, a good conversation between the two of them. It's what happened to the conversation afterward.
Yeah, well, it got edited.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Joe is the political guy. He's the strategist. He knows how to deal with candidates. I don't. That's not my realm.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if Rand Paul were sitting with me, I could only say one thing, Rand. And that is, you're never going to be able to control what the masses think. You can't manipulate them. Don't play the game. Just be honest and be yourself. You're smarter than the rest of these clowns.
All right. Joe, you're such a cutie. I may not agree with a lot of what you say, but you are just so cute. That smile. Will, you are just my hero. You are amazing and handsome. Let's have a good show. Pam from Kansas. Yeah.